Welcome to episode 18, a shocking turn of events. You may be able to guess what that means. Who knows? So tonight we're going to be going through a Defending the Realm? Defenders of Eorzea, which is patch 2.3. Don't know if we'll get through it all tonight. It does involve a trial with a very much bearded gentleman. So that'll be exciting. We did do some of the side quests last night that we need to do. We didn't finish them off. We have Circus Tower and World of Darkness to do, but we're not going to do them now. We're going to get on with the main scenario quest and use them as filler whenever we need to. If we finish early on a particular day, or we'll do them as main quests when we need to. But yeah, shall we? Well, let's make a start. Talk to Minfilia. Oh, look, it's Alfino. Minfilia's thoughts keep returning to the fate of the students of Baldesion. Except our friends, the very isle itself, everyone and everything. No, it avails us naught to speculate. Uyanje will send word if there are any developments. Till such time as he does, we must remain firmly focused on that which is within our power to change. With that in mind, I would speak on a different matter, one closer to home. It concerns etheric fluctuations which we had previously attributed to good King Moggle Mog the 12th. That the king is no more is a blessing for which we have you to thank. Of course. Yet all is not well in the Twelveswood. Our latest readings reveal an ongoing etheric disturbance of considerable magnitude. They may even suggest the presence of a primal. Needless to say, the mere possibility warrants immediate investigation, and I would have you... Ooh, Asilia? I do not wish to interrupt, but we have a problem. Do we indeed? What manner of problem? A band of refugees hailing from Ul'dahn this time are come to Revenant's Toll seeking asylum. It would seem they expect us to avoid them the same treatment we gave the Domans. At present they are in the 7th Heaven awaiting a formal response. I see. Mayhap this was to be expected. I shall meet with them at once. Cilia, you know full well we haven't the resources to accommodate many more people. Consider what will happen if you do this. Word will spread, and more will follow. Your opinion is duly noted, but I will hear their suit. I wonder if it's bright orange. Any kind of loud suit. No? Okay. Clarkson, I would be grateful for your presence at this meeting. Oh, would you? That because for my giant spear. You want me to show them my giant spear so that they are intimidated? Alright, let's go and intimidate them with my giant spear. Stairs. Clear the stairs in one jump. Oh, there. 1, maybe 2, possibly 3. 3 refugees. We can accommodate 3 refugees. As long as they don't bring their families. Hola, old people. I apologize for keeping you waiting. My name is Minfilia. I lead the science of the 7th Dawn. 12 be praised. It is you. We're ready and willing to work, same as the Domans. Just give us a task and we'll see it done. Pray calm yourselves. I appreciate your enthusiasm, but I know naught of your situation. Beg your pardon, antecedent. I ain't so good with words. We've been living off the scraps of Ul'dahn for years now, trying to piece together a life to replace the one that got took. They say there's work, but there's naught for an honest man. Naught as wouldn't sully his soul sooner than his palms any road. The flames do what they can for us, of course, but it ain't near enough. It's only getting worse. When the calamity brought us to our knees, those rich bastard buggers, sods, in the city didn't help us up. They climbed on our backs. I don't pretend to be clever, but even I can see what's coming. I knew we had to run, the only question was where. And then it came to me. Revenant's Toll. I mean, you took them foreigners in, didn't you? So you'd surely do the same for us. Nope. Sorry. We're all full up on foreigners. I fear the situation is rather more complicated. While it's true that we accepted the Doman's petition for aid, that decision was the product of extraordinary circumstances. I sympathise deeply with your plight, but pray understand this is not possible for an organisation of our means to aid all who have been affected by the calamity. And so it is with great regret that I must deny your request. But we've nowhere else to go. You're turning your back on us. If I might have a word. Tataru. Tataru! Is aught amiss? Ill tidings from Ul'dahn, my lady. Alphino has been wounded. What? How? Is it serious? I cannot say for certain, but I fear it might be. According to the flames, the refugees started a riot. They went wild, apparently lashed out at anyone and everyone. That can't be right. Why would they? They must have been provoked. The demonstration was meant to be peaceful. 7 Helks. Now the Blades have an excuse. They'll round us up and kill anyone who tries to resist. Antecedent, please. If you won't help us build a new life, at least help us keep the ones we've got. Sure, why not? Milady! We are not ones to stand idly by and watch innocents suffer. However, until we know more of the circumstances surrounding this riot, I am not certain what aid, if any, we can provide. If the authorities determine that the refugees attacked without provocation, then those responsible will have to answer for their actions. How can you be so blind? Find Alphino, and quickly. If he's in danger, or worse, I would have you and none other by his side. Thank you. Pray do not concern yourself with the matter we were discussing earlier. Ida and Papa Limo will see to it. Alphino is being treated at the Hourglass. Oi, Clockson. Boom, boom. Teleport. Ul'dahn, Steps of Nanal. To Hourglass then. Alphino, you're looking very vertical for someone who's been injured.
Come, you must have gathered by now that Tataru is given to exaggeration. As you can see, I am quite well. Ul'dahn, on the other hand, is not. This riot was anything but an isolated incident. There is a restlessness in the air. Tensions long simmering are at last threatening to boil over. Ul'dahn is a nation infamous for the great disparity between the wealthy and the poor. The majority of the populace accepts this state of affairs because they believe that every man bears responsibility for his own lot in life. To an Ul'dahn, money is the foremost, and some would say the only measure of a man's worth. Small wonder that the wealthiest wield the greatest influence. So where do the refugees fit into this social hierarchy? What place is there for those who fled Alamigo and the destruction of the Calamity? Plainly, there is none. They have no wealth, no power, and no worth. To the Ul'dahn way of thinking, they may as well not exist. Choosing to ignore their existence, however, is patently not an option. General Ramuh and the Sultana understand this, which is why they ordered the Immortal Flames to provide the refugees aid and succor. Yet none would dispute that the expenses incurred by this policy grow by the day, with no end in sight. This has prompted more and more Ul'dahns to question their obligation to aid these worthless wanderers. While more and more refugees have come to resent their treatment at the hands of the sneering citizenry. The manner of Lord Lolorito's refusal to grant the Domans asylum bespoke a disdain for all refugees, an attitude shared by the rest of the monetarists. And you may be sure they make no effort to conceal their opinions. It was only a matter of time before the refugees united in protest, nor is it any surprise that some among them would ultimately resort to violence. That the Immortal Flames should choose this of all occasions to engage in joint training exercises with the other Grand Companies. By the time they return, the situation may well have deteriorated beyond mending.
I've been doing all that talking on silent. Outsiders have trouble understanding that, like the merchant who passed through recently. Gregarious fellow, but awfully opinionated. Can't say I was sad to see him go. A friend of the Sultanate, are we? I take it this means someone has read my report. Refugees who left with the merchant have yet to return, and I'm increasingly concerned that Zazawaka's suspicions were correct. You haven't the foggiest what I'm talking about, do you? Never mind. Speak with Zazawaka. He will explain everything. Okay. Zazawaka, where are you? Over here? Over here. Zazawaka. Ah, don't hurt me. I'm not one of them. I beg your pardon. You're not a flame? I see. If Leofric bids you speak with me, then I take it you've agreed to help. 12 be praised for that. Because we haven't a moment to waste. Everyone knows the flames are on the march. The others have fallen under that fanatic spell, but not I. Promises of revolution and retribution, of holding the ruling class to account and taking that which is owed. Childish fantasy. I did everything I could to dissuade the others from leaving, but few would heed my words. Now that one of our idealists has returned, however, the madness of the merchant's plan is plain for all to see. Look behind yonder tent, and you will understand why. Even now he babbles incoherently, so traumatized is he by the bloodshed he witnessed. Try as I might, I can make little sense of his words beyond the fact that he was not alone in surviving. Yet I've no doubt the merchant will lead the remainder to their doom. I beg of you, find them before he does. What are you doing? Don't draw, don't draw, don't draw! Why didn't you run away with me? We could have escaped together. Then you'd be here with me. Be here to soothe me. Why did you have to stay and leave me alone? Soothe. Comfort the terrified refugee. Who are you? Which ones? Aye, it's true, I followed the merchant. May the gods strike me down for my folly. What they will not give, you must take, he said. When we asked how, he revealed the cache weapons he'd bought and implored us to seize control of our fates. I thought about running then and there, but others were so excited. He split us into two groups, sent us off on our own. But when the flames found us, we didn't know what to do. Our leader tried to parley with theirs, but then they started arguing and then fighting, and everyone was fighting, and the flames were shouting to give no quarter, and oh gods, the other group, they're still out there. If we don't stop them, they'll be massacred like mine was. Ooh, we've completed. It's a nice ring. Don't already have one, do we? Shock and awe. The terrified refugee would have you find his brethren and convince them to lay down their arms. The other refugees are hiding in the caves south of Lost Hope, but to approach them will be fruitless. They would sooner call us agents of the Sultanate and try to kill us than listen to reason. Why the twins might even deign to do the deed themselves. A pox on all bloody sellswords. They were supposed to train us to fight, but the ones he sent with us vanished during the struggle. Oh, if only we had listened to the merchant's ridiculous claims. Oh, if only we had never listened to that merchant's ridiculous claims. He said our cause was righteous, that the gods would never suffer us to be defeated. Though if they were forced to confront reality, that's it. Challenge the twins to combat and show my brethren that their strongest warriors are no match for one man. Mayhap then they will agree to lay down their arms and renounce this plot. Really? want me to beat up the twins? Must be a tunnel. I know it's a tunnel. It's this tunnel. Desperate refugee! Hello, desperate refugee. 7, Hex, they found us. Everyone grab your gear and make for the rendezvous point. So that's your game, is it? Ah, sorry to disappoint you, lad, but we're more than willing to kill ourselves. Oh, kill you ourselves. Sure. Bop. Bop. Or bop. Dive bop. Strong bop. Bopped. Ooh, more boppers. Boppies. Yeah, you do. You scream like a defeated armed refugee. Pretty bop, pretty bop. Shield wrapping and shield rattling swordsman. Your mate went and died. Ooh. They're doing some damage. There's some kind of dot damage on me. Any more? No more. No more. No more. No more. Don't do that, that's water, you're gonna drown. Yeah, beat him like it was nothing. Thal almighty, what are we gonna do now? Apparently just send me back to the terrified refugee. You've returned! Did you find me, brethren? What of the twins? What happened? I see. Well, you had no choice. Better than a handful of them better that a handful of them taking a beating from you than the lot getting butchered by the flames. Tell me, what did the merchant have to say when it was over? Huh? Where else would he be? Unless he went to Stone's Throw to recruit others. Reap the whirlwind. The terrified refugee would have you find the shady figure that is trying to stir dissent among his brethren. Okay. The merchant wished to approach the refugees in Stone's Throw, but was waiting until the flames withdrew their forces from the vicinity. Now that they have, there's nothing to stop him from continuing his work. How many more must perish in pursuit of this futile cause? How much more suffering must we endure before it ends? Find him. Convince him to cease his mad quest. It will surely lead us to ruin. Bow, 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 bow. I'm betting it's an Ascian. Or a monetarist. Where is Stone's Throw? Oh. Well, that's it, chat. I run out of pineapple juice. I know. Oh, there's my water bottle. Hello? Talk to me. Oh, it's a small child. Um, have you seen my parents? No, kiddo, I have not. They told me to stay here with the others, but they said they'd be back soon, but it's been days. They left with a man from Ul'dahn. The man said they were going to change everything, make it so we could live inside the walls with everyone else. I liked it when he said that. I didn't like it when he talked about making the rich people pay. Everyone looked so angry and I got scared. Say, mister, are you looking for someone? I'm looking for a merchant. You mean the man who left with my parents? But I don't know where he... I've got a horrible feeling. Wait, look over there. I think that's him. Well now, which of these gullible fools shall be my next victim? You! I... He's getting away! Get him, mister! Come, Joel. Let us pursue this vagabond in the air. To wing. Hello there, mistrustful merchant. Oh, some animated things. You again? Why are you pursuing me? Guess you're a knobhead. Sedition, treason, revolution. That's preposterous. Who has filled your head with these lies? Refugees? The self-same refugees who terrorized the streets of Ul'dahn? Ha! You have no evidence to prove your accusations. None. No. No, I will not accompany you to the Hall of Flames. You have no right to detain me. For the sake of argument, let's say I did do the things you claim. Surely you don't think I give a kikuru's arse about politics? It was business. Only business. Not looking good for you, is it, mate? I have fangs. Some kind of bowyer. We both know I'm not the one you want. However, if you agree to protect me, I swear I'll tell you everything. Alright. Oh well. Nice shot. What's all this commotion? 7 hex. Tell the others to spread out and search the area. The killer may still be close. Shouldn't give Lalafelins that kind of job. Legs are too short. Take him ages to run anywhere. Stone torch. Old adventurer, I would know more about your relationship with the victim, as well as the events leading up to his death. Well, the events were someone fired an arrow, the arrow pierced him in the chest, and now he's dead. The man was responsible for the recent riots. Mayhap we owe his murderer a debt of gratitude. In any case, it's obvious you're not the one whom we seek. You may carry on with your investigation, Scion. Thank you, small guy. Small policeman. What's a swift in the whole things? Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. What news, Cloxon? Where is the merchant? He dead. He very dead. Murdered? Damn it all to the seventh heck. He was not simply murdered, Cloxon, he was silenced. Too many knew his face, and he was all ready to divulge his secrets. Do not despair, though. We may be closer to identifying the true orchestrator of these riots than you realize. For it was me, Commander Swift. No. It probably wasn't Swift. Sure. You throat thing. We're only missing fists now. Evolution! Swift has a message for you from General Ramuh. The Flame General left word that you were to proceed to the Fragrant Chamber as soon as you returned. He wishes to discuss your recent discoveries as well as the results of our own investigation. Master Alphino has already been informed and should be waiting for you outside. Pray proceed to the Royal Promenade with all haste and speak with Bartholomew. Okay. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Honestly, I thought there'd be more Sylph stuff before the quest I'm going to be doing soon. I do check out how many quests I've got to do before the stream, but I don't really pay much attention to them. Unless they have a prereq. Hello, Bartholomew. We've been expecting you, sir. Please, proceed inside. Want the money. Have the money.
Commander Swift has kept us apprised of your recent activities. You've made great strides towards quelling the violence.
Despite our best efforts to determine what provoked this uprising, the truth continues to elude us. Have you uncovered aught which might shed some light on the mystery?
This information does not leave this room. The Syndicate's decision to reject the Doman refugees' appeal for asylum had lasting repercussions. A number of those displaced by the calamity claimed it was proof of a policy of discrimination. Together with a group of Alamegan refugees, they organized a series of demonstrations to protest against the Sultanate. Demonstrations which became heated, but did not descend into violence. Until a certain incident served as a call to arms.
A unit of brass blades sent to supervise a demonstration loosed arrows upon unarmed protesters. It was this atrocity which prompted the refugees to take up arms. I need not tell you what followed.
We assumed at first that the attack was born of a miscommunication. When emotions run high, they happen. But suspicions were raised regarding the unit's commanding officer, whom I ordered interrogated. Sure enough, our fears were soon confirmed. The dog confessed that a merchant had offered him coin to give the order. A merchant in the employ of Teleji Adeleji.
Teleji Adeleji. But he spoke in favor of the Doman's cause. and has ever seemed sympathetic towards the refugees' plight. Why would he do such a thing?
Know you of the Cartano Reclamation Bill? It is a proposal to annex the Cartano Flats so that refugees may establish permanent settlements.
When last I looked, that was disputed territory.
Aye. Some might even call it a battlefield. The destruction wrought by Bahamut was greatest at the Cartano Flats. That much is common knowledge. What is less well known is that his rampage laid bare ancient Ul'dahn ruins, of which no record existed. There are certain differences of opinion as to how these ruins should be handled, which is why each nation maintains a military presence in the region to this day. Yet differ though we may, we are still allies. Therefore, in the interest of preserving the Eorzean alliance, we have reached an agreement. Any conflict which may arise during the course of military exercises in the region shall have no bearing on relations between our nations. In full knowledge of this delicate state of affairs, Teleji Adeleji proposed the Cartano Reclamation Bill. A shameless bloody ruse which stands to benefit him in but one conceivable way. If successful, he will gain control over the disputed territory under the guise of assisting in the resettlement effort. And you can be sure he'll build an orphanage next to every Ul'dahn ruin.
The man would threaten the unity of the Eorzean alliance and risk countless lives for personal gain.
He walks a path all his own, independent of any faction and beholden to none of his fellows on the Syndicate.
By inciting the less fortunate to violence, he hopes to convince others that the Cartano Reclamation Bill is the only viable solution. His sympathy for the plight of the Domans was not but posturing to gain credibility with the refugees. Of that there can be no doubt.
Forgive me, but what could possibly motivate Teleji Adeleji to go to such lengths? What is so special about these ruins that he would risk his position on the Syndicate, and, most likely, charges of treason against the Sultanate?
Omega.
Pardon?
An Ul'dahn monstrosity, not unlike the Ultima weapon. Mayhap larger, we know not. It has yet to be fully excavated. Ul'dahn inscriptions indicate that it was created to fell Bahamut himself. If accurate, it might explain why Nael Van Darnus chose to bring the Red Moon down upon the Cartano Flats. Given the ends he went to ensure Eorzea's annihilation, destroying the one weapon which could stay the Elder Primal may well have seemed like good sense.
When first I bore witness to the power of the Ultima weapon, I doubted the evidence of my senses. And now you tell me there is another such weapon. One which could contend with Bahamut. Bahamut!
Aye, we were skeptical ourselves. Truth be told, until the Ultima weapon's existence came to light, we thought the inscription had been mistranslated.
At present, Omega is more akin to a fossil than a tool of war, having long since ceased to function. As such, its true potential cannot accurately be gauged. However, if someone were to restore it, as the Garleans did the Ultima weapon, I have little doubt that he would wield untold power.
Power enough to subjugate Ul'dahn like as not, and the rest of Eorzea besides, which is doubtless why Teleji Adeleji yearns to have it.
that he should aspire to world domination. He who has ever walked 2 paces behind Lord Lolorito in matters of commerce.
'Tis in acknowledgement of his own limitations that he seeks this power. Woe betide us all should we allow him to have it.
Pray waste no time chasing rats. Only a fool would believe that secrets can be kept in Ul'dahn.
It would seem the implications of the Sultanate's refugee problem are rather more far-reaching than we assumed.
Stories we tell. Recent revelations weigh heavily on Alphinaud's mind. I should be glad to know the truth, and yet the thought that all this chaos was the product of one man's lust for power sickens me. How long do you think they intended to hide the existence of Omega from the Scions? That they even felt the need to do so is most troubling. It would be in our best interest to learn more of the military activities in the disputed territories. You are, of course, the Scion best suited to this task, Private Clockton. Do take a moment to visit the Adder's Nest and make inquiries at the earliest available opportunity. Begone, whelp. This is no place for children. Oh, nice. Sniffle, sob. I'm sorry. I was looking for you, mister. You said you were looking for the man who left with my parents. You know this girl? So, he visited Stone's Throw as well, I see. Did you find the man? Were my parents with him? They were not, I'm afraid. However, I can think of several places they might be. If you like, we can go and look for them together. Really? You'll help me look, mister? Of course, but first I must needs finish speaking with my friend. He's telling me a secret, you see, so no one else is allowed to listen. Mayhap you could wait for me by that pillar over there. We require but a moment. Okay, mister, I'll be waiting. I'll take her to the quicksand. Mayhap Momodi will know what to do. A legion of Garleans, an aether-starved primal, even dealing with an Ascian will be preferable to this charade. Sometimes I fear Minfilia is too ambitious. We rush hither and yon in response to the threats as they arrive, without concern for the strain it places on our limited resources, and ourselves. Mayhap the time has come for a change. Unity pose Minfilia. Oh, speaking of whom. Oxen, this is Minfilia. I know this is sudden, but I must ask you to return to Revenant's Toll with all due haste. Situation in the Dwellswood has taken a turn for the worst. I will explain in detail once you arrive. The Dwellswood? Then the primal threat she spoke of before has been confirmed. I've received no reports of Ixali activity, which leaves Sylphs? Oh, Clockton, you know as well as I that the appearance of a primal takes precedence over all else. Oh, when you arrive, do inform the antecedent that while I am grateful for her concern, she needn't fear for my safety. I am more than capable of protecting myself. Do-do-do-do. Kind of cutscene. No. Do more donor. I did that 360 there, but it was fun. It wasn't fun. Rising Stones. Yes, let's enter the Rising Stone. Let's go down the Descending Stones. No? Fine. More Descending Stones. Entrance to the Solar. Yes, enter the Solar. Infilia! It is a relief to see you healthy and hale, Cloxon. The latest news from Ul'dahn was most disturbing. Clearly, the only injury Alphino suffered was to his ego. Doubtless it will heal ere long. The other scions will need to be present for this meeting. If you're ready to begin, I will summon them now. Yeah, well, we might as well put all the others. Yay, we've reached 100. Lord of Levin. Inferior wishes to discuss the latest threat to the Arise in the Black Shroud. Arise in the Black Shroud. Ba-boom. This is Stola and Ida and Papalimo and Thancred. Thank you for responding to my call with such haste. Rest assured, I should not have summoned you were it not urgent. To business, then. I have received some most disturbing news from the Order of the Twin Adder. I have reason to believe that the Sylphs may have called forth their revered guardian, the primal Ramuh. I'm sorry. May have? Then it is not certain. The Elder Seedseer informs us that the elementals themselves murmur of the Lord of Levin's return to the forest. The Sylphlands, however, display no signs of undue commotion. Forgive me, antecedent, but the fact need not contradict the elemental's testimony. Unlike his more bellicose compeers, Garuda and so on, Ramuh is reputed to act only in defense of his children. I imagine he would soon make his presence known if any were foolish enough to directly endanger the Sylphs or their territory. The abruptness of this development concerns me. Were we not keeping a close watch on the touched ones and their movements? If preparations for the summoning ritual were indeed underway, it would surely not have escaped your notice. Oh, it didn't. I was pretty sure it was going to happen, just not this soon. I beg your pardon. You foresaw this eventuality and did naught to prevent it. I told Papalimo. I suppose I could have reported things to Minfili earlier, but there wasn't much we could do except wait and see. You know how the Sylphs feel about people poking around in their territory. They already summoned Ramuh once out after the calamity, but that was because the Garleans came tramping through them. And so long as Castromorian stands, the Sylphs cannot be blamed for wishing to have their guardian deity on hand. In short, Ida and I are in agreement. The actions of the forest folk were inevitable and unavoidable. And I maintain that observation would have remained the best policy had it not been for a sudden influx of strangers into the Black Shroud. That, alas, we did not foresee. By all accounts, the recent violence in Ul'dahn drove a number of refugees to seek safety under the concealing canopy of the trees. It is like that the Sylphs perceive that this panicked migration is yet another invasion and quicken their efforts to summon their god. I am put in mind of Titan and the Kobolds. Once again, it is the affairs of men which have paved the way for this primal's coming. Indeed, one cannot help but wonder what manner of place Eorzea would be without the civilizing influence of mankind. Be that as it may, the regrettable development does not afford us an opportunity. It does afford us a unique opportunity. Cloxton, through your dealings with the Sylphs of Little Solace, you once succeeded in preventing an untimely conflict with Gridania. I wonder, might one who has treated with the Sylphs so fruitfully in the past not achieve similar success with their patron deity? If Ramuh can be convinced of our intentions, it may be the first step to breaking the cycle of primal summoning. A fond hope. Were such a thing possible, we would not have been at war with the beastmen since time immemorial. But maybe this time we can. Let us continue this discussion anon. We must needs first consult with the nation most affected by Ramuh's presence. The Elder Seedseer has requested your personal involvement, Clock. Pray report to Commander Helier at the Adder's Nest as soon as you are able. Oh, I'm able. Steel yourself for the worst. While I hope for a peaceful resolution to this matter, experience suggests that your meeting with the Lord of Levin will prove less than amicable. In such an event, your fellow Scions will of course lend you whatever support you require. To the Adder's Nest. Private Clarkson, your arrival has been most anticipated. The appearance of Primal has ever cause for alarm and unease. Though my men stand ready for any eventuality, I know that none more qualified than you to snuff out this threat. Indeed, I would have you do so without delay. The Elder Seedseer, however, would speak with you first. She is of the opinion that your diplomatic rather than martial skills may better serve our cause. I will leave further explanation to our learned leader. Pray make your way to Nofika's altar. The conjurer in attendance will admit you to the lotus stand. Off we go. The other Scions have already arrived, sir. May I show you in? Yes, yes, you may. Hello, Kane Senna.
Scions of the Seventh Dawn, on behalf of the people of Gridania, I bid you welcome. Your presence is of great comfort to us all in these days of uncertainty. I summoned you here to share tidings of a most urgent nature. But a short while ago, the great elemental spoke, and his voice was clarion in its intensity. Ramuh is returned unto the forest. Scarce had his words ceased to echo in mine ears when we were visited by an emissary from Little Solace.
Oh, it's the green one.
Our guest informs us that the Sylphs, too, have sensed the presence of the Lord of Levin. Though his exact whereabouts remain unknown, we may safely assume that the Primal was summoned within the heart of the Sylphlands. Unlike the other Primals you have encountered, Lord Ramuh is no raging avatar of destruction. He is revered as much for his wisdom as his strength, serving as both arbiter and guardian to his children. Given that we and the Sylphs found a way to share the Twelveswood, it is my hope that this sagely immortal will be amenable to reason, and that conflict may be avoided. Blessed as you are with the power of the Echo, you are one of the few among us who may commune with a Primal without fear of influence. I would ask, therefore, that you represent us in this most delicate of negotiations. The Twelveswood has suffered enough. Upon this, we and the Sylphs, and I would venture Lord Ramuh himself, are in perfect accord. Let us not endanger our shared home by engaging in unnecessary hostilities. Dear friend, I beseech you, safeguard the peace which exists between our peoples.
There I go, nodding again.
You have my thanks.
Green ones, by the looks of it.
Pray make for little solace, then. A member of the Order of the Twin Adder awaits you there. He will advise you on how to find the Lord of Levin. An ill wind blows through the forest. Yet, it is not only the Twelveswood that flinches at its coming. All the land's Veorzia shiver in dread anticipation. Have care.
Well, seems I got booted out of there. Little solace. Food. Ooh, a Serpent Lieutenant. Ivor Cloxon? I was told to expect you. I understand you go to treat with the primal Ramuh himself. An unenviable task, but one which I have no doubt you are well suited. I've been told that your fellow Scions are conducting an investigation of the area as we speak, that we might ascertain the location where the Lord of Levin might be found. I would ask that you bide here until they return with their findings. Okay. Leaving an impression. Leaving an impression. Serpent Lieutenant looks about, seemingly awaiting a visitor. I was told a messenger would be sent as soon as your fellow Scions finish their investigation. I do not imagine it will be much longer. Oh, it's another green one. Xio. This one returns, and returns with good tidings. Wise ones have finished searching, and have wisely identified the precise location where the touched ones sought Lord Ramuh. Your timing is impeccable. Your timing is impeccable, my fluttery friend. Might you be so kind as to escort this good man to his fellow Scions? It would be this one's pleasure, walking one. Please, please, come with this one. Mount up. Fly, my pretty, fly. Hello, Maxio. Wise ones have ventured deep within the Sylphlands. These ones must proceed carefully and keep an eye out for touched ones. Right, Maxio, I can fly! This one is most sorry, but this one can go no further. Draw too close to Lord Ramuh, and this one may turn mean and nasty like touched one. And so this one must say farewell for now. Walking on will find wise ones not far from here to the south. Go safe. Go in safety, walking on. Ooh, Papillon. So, it's actually you. I am relieved. For a moment I thought we were dealing with another one of those confounded self-tricksters. I swear, with them wreaking havoc with their skin-changing magics, it's a wonder that I was able to finish taking my measurements. Yes, it's quite the ordeal. You should have seen the look on Ishtola's face when the one impersonating you suddenly showed up. That's quite enough, Papillon. My apologies. It's not like me to ramble so. At any rate, as I was saying, I have finished measuring etheric activity in the area, and I am pleased to say that I have reached an indisputable conclusion. To wit, that Ramuh was called forth in the vicinity of the Silsetherite. Come, Cloxon, to the Lord of Levin awaits. Okay. Ooh, there's some purple ones. Hmm?
Thine order betrays thee, servant of hiding.
That's bright.
Thou art the bringer of light, bane of Ifrit, Titan, Garuda, and Leviathan.
Aye, that's me.
I am Ramuh, guardian of the children of the forest. Thou tramplest upon sacred soil, bringer of light. By what right doth man intrude in this sanctuary of the sylphs? The Gridanians proffer peace? Their words are born of delusion, thine offer an insult. Thou speakest of harmony, yet carest not for my children's desires. They did but wish to dwell beneath these boughs in solitude. Yet even that was too much to ask of man. Thus did they turn to me for succor. The sentence I pronounce upon thy kind is just. Gridanian or Garlean, it matters not. The good intent of one excuseth not the misdeeds of the other. Thy conflicts have brought naught but anguish and misery unto the forest. All blame doth lie with the darkness that resideth in the breast of man. Whence sprung this calamitous seed? In the beginning no such duality existed. Were light and dark given form when man was born? It would explain much. Not least why strife and sorrow follow ever in thy wake. Thou canst not deny the urgings of thine own nature. Knowing that thy mere presence here portendeth tragedy, wilt thou persist in this pretense of peacemaking? Thou bearest the crystal which I bestowed upon my wayward charges, that they should entrust so precious a gift to thee.
Thou standest apart from thy kin. Thou art the bringer of light, aye. But there is something more in thee. Very well. I shall consider thy proposal, shouldst thou survive my trial. If thou wouldst champion the cause of harmony, I must have proof that thou art fit to play the role. Wither mine ire, and prove to me thereby that thou hast strength enough to stay the darkness which threateneth to consume thee. Yet if thou shouldst be found wanting, know that all men shall perish in the storm of my judgment. Come to me, bringer of light. I shall await thee on the field of battle.
Urianger, it is rare indeed to find you so far from a tome.
The Lord of Levin himself. Never till this day had I looked upon his visage, save in painted renderings made faint by time. Ever shall this scene remain etched in my mind's eye. Beg pardon, my lady. I must beg thine aid on a point of research. If thou art resolved to face Lord Ramuh, I would ask thy leave to observe the event.
Cool. Let's queue for this. I don't know why they called it the striking tree hard. There isn't a striking tree not hard. Then it just leaves us with what to do while we're waiting. Hopefully for less than 5 minutes. Bearing in mind, of course, that it's entirely possible, as soon as we're done, we'll be back here. Spiky bits, spiky bits. We could do some gathering. What level is our tarnist? 18. Gather some stuff. Let's bottom some things. Ooh, what level? Let's try and stick with level at least 15. Ooh, level 20, that'll do. Ooh. U-logs. Let's have U-logs. Oh, missed that one. Got that one though. We leveled up. You got anything we can level up into? Ooh, a merchant's purse. Well, I feel we already had that. Oh, really? Oh, well, no, that. Short and sweet. Or was it? Hello, everyone. Purdy. Go, man of a giant moustache. Does have a very large moustache. I can't remember how to do this. Oh, still need to avoid the AoE though, eh? Standing in the lightning bit. Oh, I think I've just picked that up accidentally. I should have moved in there. Don't know what happened there. But I do remember that that gets me every single time. Right, that's him deaded. I assume killing them was the right thing to do. I don't know what that means. Let's get one of them instead. Just go over here. Ugh. Only the samurai is doing worse than me in terms of hate. Don't stand on me! Is the samurai even doing anything? Oh, he dead. He dead, chat. He dead. Vanished into thin air. Oh, I didn't get any commendations. Perhaps because I did rubbish. But we got through it. I didn't die.
I have taken thy measure, bringer of light. And I judge thee a worthy champion. The task of excising the sin that hath taken root in man's heart is thine. Shrink not from employing thy strength in service to the forest and the wider realm beyond. Like hungering shadows do the enemies of harmony gather, and meekness will but feed them. If man is to be delivered from the dark, it shall be by thy guiding light alone. Stray not from the path, for if thou dost, thy people shall be truly lost.
Thou hast slain the Lord of Levin. A regrettable act, but a necessary one. In witnessing thy struggle, a truth hath been revealed unto me. If I mistake not, it may yet prove a chink in the eternal armor of the Assyrians. But let us conclude our present business. I shall expound upon my findings at the Rising Stones anon.
Oh, back to Little Solace. And fly through the weird electric mushroom things. Private Glockson, you have returned. Dare I ask how Ramuh received your visit? Tried to kill me. He challenged you to a test of arms? It is well then that you have some experience in such matters. The peoples of both Gridania and Little Solace will be relieved to hear that the Lord of Levin has accepted you as the forest's champion of peace. You have performed a monumental duty this day, Private Son. The Elder Seedseer must be informed of your deeds at once. The Serpent Lieutenant is ready to send you on your way. The Elder Seedseer will wish to hear of your experiences firsthand. Pray return to Gridania and make directly for the Lotus Stand. The conjurer at Nothika's altar will be expecting you. Fare you well, Private Glockson. We should return, shouldn't we? Because that's free. Oh Etherite, Ethernet, Conjurer's Guild. Welcome back, Honored Scion. We who knew of your mission have been most anxious to see you return. The Elder Seedseer awaits you within.
You are returned to us, dear friend, and none the worse for bearing the heavy burden which I did press upon you. Most glad am I of this. I am informed that your efforts to negotiate a peace with Lord Ramuh ended in conflict. Pray tell me, what befell? Ramuh made trial of you? I fear there is truth to his claim. It is the darkness within us that attracts the darkness without. It cannot be denied that misfortune follows man. For evidence, one need only look to the conflict brewing in Cartano, or to the rising flood of refugees. Our shared struggle against the Empire should have served to seal our union. Yet the ties which bind the Alliance strain under the weight of gross self-interest. As the scars of the calamity...
What? What happened there?
You are returned to us, dear friend, and none the worse for bearing the heavy burden which I did press upon you. Most glad am I of this. I am informed that your efforts to negotiate a peace with Lord Ramuh ended in conflict. Pray tell me, what befell?
Some deja vu.
Ramuh made trial of you? I fear there is truth to his claim. It is the darkness within us that attracts the darkness without. It cannot be denied that misfortune follows man. For evidence, one need only look to the conflict brewing in Cartano, or to the rising flood of refugees. Our shared struggle against the Empire should have served to seal our union. Yet the ties which bind the Alliance strain under the weight of gross self-interest. As the scars of the calamity begin to fade, so too does our sense of common purpose. Yet now is scarce the time to forget our shared responsibility. If this new-sprung realm is to survive beyond its infancy, it must needs be nurtured by all. Eorzea must be as one. Yet I fear that dream is still far off. On behalf of the people of Gridania and the elementals both, I thank you for all that you and your fellow scions have done. Full oft have I been compelled to look to you for aid of late, and offered all too little in return. As leader of this nation, I shall endeavor to prove a more worthy ally to your cause henceforth. Lord Ramuh has departed, yet the keening of this ill wind grows no less insistent. Voices of the forest, pray speak and I shall listen. What unseen evil begets this unease in my heart?
Thus ends another daunting mission, eh, Cloxon? I'd hoped Lord Ramuh could be persuaded with words alone, but nonetheless, I can only admire the adroitness with which you responded to the Primal's sudden challenge. It seems that Urianger too was pleased with the outcome. What say you, Cloxon? Shall we gather back at the Rising Stones and ponder the lessons of the day? Apparently. Dropping some frames. I don't know what that's about. Oh, that is the doorway. Do 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 do. Enter the solar. Oh God. Yes, enter the solar. Welcome back, Clock. Word of your momentous encounter with Lord Ramuh precedes you. I would fain share news of my own, but Urianger's discoveries must take precedence. Upon witnessing your defeat of the Lord of Levin, our learned companion was struck with a profound insight regarding the nature of the Ascian's immortality. Let us assemble and discuss his observations together. Scions, assemble.
If everyone is ready, let us begin. Urianger, the floor is yours.
As all here assembled now know, in its final hours as our Order's headquarters, the waking sands did play host to a most unexpected visitor. I speak of the Ascian clad in white, Elidibus. Unwelcome though his presence was, his words that day did serve to confirm a truth long suspected, that the Ascians are eternal beings, to whom physical destruction is as a temporary inconvenience.
In the intervening time, Urianger and I have striven to discover a means by which the Ascians might more permanently be slain.
And 'tis my belief that we have found the thread that will allow us to unravel the twisted skein of their existence. In the moments prior to Leviathan's most recent manifestation, the Sahagin elder who summoned him was observed to undergo some manner of ascension. The etheric readings taken by Y'shtola at the time of this transfiguration have proven most enlightening.
The disruption to the flow of ether was sudden and dramatic. So tangible was the agitation, I scarce had need of my goggles.
The significance of Y'shtola's readings might better be understood in the context of mine own, taken at the instant of the Lord of Levin's demise. Unlike the Primal, the Sahagin was not subject to etheric dissipation.
Before discussing our new discoveries, it may benefit us all to recall what we know of etheric behavior. Let us begin at what some might call the end. When we who dwell in the material realm die, our spirits dissolve into the flow of ether and are returned to the ethereal realm. In turn, the restless energy which suffuses that plane streams back into our world, giving rise to new life.
"'Tis as the heavens did decree, the way of all mortal souls. Twixt this world and the next do the ethereal currents swirl, bearing the very essence of life. Thus doth the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth continue unabated."
Primals behave somewhat differently. In order to manifest and then maintain a physical presence in this realm, they must consume vast quantities of ether, most often in the form of crystals. Though they may seem to live, their flesh is but ether given shape. Thus, a defeated primal leaves behind no broken corpse. Rather, the essence of its form seeps back into the land whence it came, and the energy of its shattered spirit is called back to the ethereal realm.
And there it waiteth, till next the prayers of the faithful do draw it forth from the sea of ether, to take their offering of crystals and make for itself a new body.
Which brings us on to the third group, the so-called immortals. They exist in a manner all their own.
Quite. Even as the Sahagin Elder fell to the Admiral's musket shot, I witnessed the release of an ethereal cloud, which immediately took possession of a nearby minion.
A soul that dissipateth not upon the death of the flesh.
The secret of life everlasting, and in the claws of a Sahagin no less. But I wonder, what would happen to one of these obstinate spirits should there be no suitable host for it to claim?
If mortal death entails a return to the ethereal realm, it seems doubtful that the soul of an immortal would venture there.
Nay, it merely withdraweth the distance, unto the shore of the ethereal sea, perchance, but no further.
Yes, it exists in neither this realm nor the next, abiding instead in the space that lies between them. The Ascians took control of Thancred by means of a crystal of darkness, an artifact which, if our theories are correct, serves as a gateway to the place I have just described.
I was hoping people had forgotten about that.
I am sorry, my friend.
For a mercy, the weary road of our research hath brought us unto an answer.
The Sahagin ascended to an immortal state, but he did not possess a crystal of darkness through which to flee this realm. Thus was he consumed by Leviathan. If we could entrap the spirits of defeated Ascians in like manner, and thereby deny them resurrection...
Therein lieth the path to victory. Thou art most perceptive, my lady. Only when we have trapped the bodiless soul within an ethereal prison can we hope to defeat its unnatural constancy. Thus might even an eternal paragon be consigned to oblivion.
These feats are, of course, far easier said than done. At present, we lack a viable means to entrap and extinguish an Ascian soul. Yet, I believe it to be possible. The pieces of the puzzle lie before us. We have but to put them together.
I will depart at once to convene with the sages of Sharlayan. Together...
Things are misbehaving. Okay, we'll try this cutscene again. Hopefully it'll be fun. Bunch more dropped frames as well. I'm not sure what's going on. It seems that my internet is having some issues with the game. Right now, and not just the game. Final Fantasy has in fact crashed. Joy! Oh gosh. Alright. So, I'm gonna have to restart my computer and then try again. So I think what we'll actually do is we'll call it a night there and pick this up tomorrow. We'll finish off Defenders of Eorzea and then probably the Crystal Tower as well. Seems as reasonable time to do it as any. Apologies for the slightly shorter stream, but if you've been here, thanks for being here, and I will see you tomorrow.